Joel Embiid is on a generational podcast run, and the stuff he's been saying has been crazy.
I'm probably the most hated guy in the league. I don't know why, cause I'm I'm just cool. Like I
You're the most hated guy.
I don't know what's there to hate about me. Like
It's the injuries.
I feel like a lot of people can relate to my story and what I've been through. And I like when the fans, that's why I like.
Because he always gives Jayson trouble, or he gives me trouble about Jayson. Yeah, he's got a super team. You know what I mean? Like, if I had a super team too, I would win too. I
mean, I tell him the same thing. Like,
well, you got a super team now, coach.
If I go 5 for 20, like, we get blown out.
You guys don't know.
Now, this is in regards to Jayson Tatum specifically, and me and B-Souls are about to argue.
So Drew Hanlen's my dinkle break, Chad. I just need y'all to know that. Drew Hanlen. God.
Let's get to the 5 to 20 claims, and then I want to see if y'all feel like Joel Embiid has some credibility. I can see Damo's face already. So this past year, Joel had 3 games shooting 36%, going 1 for 2 in those games. In his 8 worst career shooting games, only 1 game shooting above 30%. The Sixers are 3 for 5. Now, on the opposite side of that, Tatum's 8 worst playoff games, the Celtics were 4 for 4. However, in Jayson Tatum's 12 games shooting under 30%, the Celtics are 7 of 5. Is there some credibility to this?
There is some. Go get a dub, though. Yeah.
Oh,
brother. Yeah, where was it when it counted, man? Game 6, 2023. Game 7, 2023. Where was that? Where was it, man?
It's just, he's not lying, but he's just saying what we all know. The Sixers are not building teams that are capable of succeeding without Joel Embiid playing great and being healthy. So, yeah, he's not lying, but the nigga damn sure complaining, but I'm not even on that. Nigga, your story is not relatable for a lot of niggas. I don't know why you're lying. Like, I just got plucked out of my home country at 15, moved across the world to play this
200 pounds of muscle.
Yeah, grew 8 more inches, and now I get this D1 offer when I've never played this sport before. Nigga, that is not a normal experience. You my player ass, nigga. What? What?
He was the 6'7", 13-year-old playing soccer. And he thinks that that's supposed to be relatable.
Little Ball Mute, hey, you want to go to America? Hey, damn, this is everybody's starting start, right? No, it's not.
He looked at him. This is how it starts, huh? Yeah. This is where everything starts.
With the 2K insider and shit. Oh my god.
I do want to. It might be a fight. I do want to say though, he is 100% right, and I let B-So slide on this, because the ring was fresh. He is 100% right about the Celtics being a super team.
Okay.
What
do you want me to do with that?
I was trying to let it slide, but you were totally wrong. This early, after y'all won the finals, after the Celtics won the finals, saying, "Oh, well, it's not. I can't call it a super team because this goalpost move and that goalpost move.
That they're beatable. That goalpost move.
Yeah, that was some crazy. And
that I've maintained the whole season, by the way. But I moved the goalpost.
Now it has to be at the beginning of the season when they were beatable, not at this point in time. And then I
said it the whole season. How was that moving the goalpost?
And then for these years, these teams are super teams because I didn't think these were beatable teams. Like, these look come on, bruh. You changing the narrative year by year. You changing the goalpost year by year.
You lied.
No, I'm not. I've maintained the same take for like the last 3 to 4 years.
Do you think that it makes your ring more valuable if you don't call it what it is? Like, if you downplay your team?
No, I genuinely believe we are in the parity era where for the last 6 years we've had a completely different champion every single year. Their path to the finals was injury riddled, and they never faced a dominant big, which is our biggest weakness.
You got to have a dominant big now to be a super team?
I'm about to say.
I didn't say that.
Can I ask this? Over the last 6 years, has there been any super teams in the NBA in your opinion?
Last 6 years?
The last 6 years.
It didn't work out, but the 2021 Nets.
That was the only one.
Okay.
The last 6 years, I mean, the 2019 Warriors are still in there, so like the KD Warriors. And
You thought the 2021 they were unbeatable?
the Nets
The
with
one-
James Harden?
No defense and old James Harden injury. James Harden. at this point?
Okay.
We're talking about the Nets that we knew had huge flaws, weaknesses. Like you talking about before people even thought like Nick Claxton was somebody. Like what? Yes, the Nets. You thought the Nets were unbeatable?
Did you remember how they were playing?
Yeah, no.
Score 120 ago.
See, this is what I'm talking about. B Souls, is it at the beginning of the season or the beginning of the playoffs? Because if we're talking about at the beginning of the season, how they were playing shouldn't even be a factor, or when they came together, I should say. It shouldn't be a factor, right?
Omar, I said in the beginning and at the end of the season that the Celtics were beatable. So I didn't move the goalpost. It stayed right there. It stayed right there. I didn't change the logic. I maintained the logic.
When do you evaluate beatability?
Probably during like going into the playoffs.
Okay, so you're telling me going into this year's playoffs, you thought that the Celtics were beatable.
Yes, the Nuggets. I had the
dude.
Nuggets.
He's a liar,
I had the All right, bro.
Wait. So
if we're gonna act like 90% of fans didn't have the Nuggets winning the championship over the Celtics, are we? A majority, maybe not 90% is exaggeration, but a majority of fans did not think the Nuggets were gonna win a championship. We are legitimately revising history on this podcast right now.
So then, in the same breath, you think for that Nets team, you thought nobody thought that anybody could beat that Nets team going into the playoffs.
Yes.
All right. Okay. All right. Okay.
Brother,
The way people were talking about that Nets team going into that playoffs and how they were playing specifically, yes.
brother, ew.
I think that's cap.
I don't know. I don't like that. I don't like that Nets thing. I'm a Xenoverse player. I love changing timelines, though. So I'll definitely revise history and say, nope, you're lying about the Nuggets thing, even though you're not.
Okay, bro.
I'll go ahead and say you're lying, even though you're not. But in regards to the Nets, nah. But is Boston a super team to me? Yeah. You'd be a super team for this era's definition of the parody era, of the new era standards for what a super team should be. I think you guys fit all mean for what that would be. The only way that you guys don't is, I guess, a hypothetical super duper team. If you guys had, like, I guess, a dominant big down there, but even then, you have Al Horford who's locking up a character like Joel Embiid, even. So, I mean, damn. So, yeah, I definitely think you guys apply, at least for this specific season.
So,
Mind you, just to my logic, but before you got Dama, Sage is the same dude that said anyone coming out the West is gonna beat them. And also, even if it's not just Sage, throughout the whole playoffs, a lot of people believe that anyone coming out the West was gonna beat the Celtics because they didn't meet anyone real up until the finals. Am I right or am I wrong? No, we're lying.
No.
Okay, we're lying. Hey chat, we're lying, bro. We're lying today, bro.
No.
We're lying. We're fucking lying, bro. We're lying.
Yes.
We're
Hey, this is the crash out y'all wanted. We're lying today. I feel it.
I personally don't think we're lying. I think a lot of people thought, especially the people that knew how generationally good the Celtics were, they thought that the Celtics were a shoe-in. That whole concept of, whoever comes out there was inexperienced team after inexperienced team after inexperienced team, and especially once the Nuggets got eliminated, a lot of people shifted sides. Please don't bring up what ESPN had to say. They got to sell. I really don't care about that. A lot of people thought that this generational team was clear-cut favorites to win the championship. I'm being so honest with you. And then also with that same conversation, that same logic, if you're talking about the 21 Nets, you're telling me that nobody thought anybody on the West could beat the Nets going into the playoffs? You're telling me that nobody thought the Bucks could beat the Nets going into the playoffs? I find that hard to believe.
If we're gonna be hyperbolic, yes, somebody probably did believe the Bucks were gonna beat them.
Do you think that seriously, I know I asked this, and it's supposed to be about Joel Embiid, but my gosh, do you think that it makes this ring, I guess for the people out there in the atmosphere or whatever, do you think that it means more if you keep pushing this narrative that you guys were not a super team?
No.
Okay. So what's
Even
wrong
if
with
we
being a super
did
team?
win as a super team, I'd personally still value it the same. It's the first ring in the Tatum era.
Can I just
Whatever
ask?
team you're in.
Can I just ask? Is Porzingis not a dominant big?
Dominant? Nah. No, well, I was talking about facing another dominant big, not us having a dominant big.
Okay.
What more would the Boston Celtics need to acquire for them to be considered a super team?
I guess depth.
Tatum got to be more dominant. I ain't gonna lie.
Tatum has to be more dominant.
Oh
Really?
my god. Oh my god.
Am I not talking to the same people that say he played like shit during the playoffs? What the fuck?
He played like shit because he didn't play like shit during the playoffs. He just did not play like a player that people are prepared to say is top 5, top 3. He didn't have a dominating performance. I give you that. But I don't think what's holding y'all back from being a super team is Tatum's dominance. That's the only thing I can hear an argument for is depth. But even then, I think y'all are a super team. But we have total different definitions of what super teams are. We've had that conversation.
I'm the best instigator alive.
Tatum has to play better than 27, 8, and 5, chat.
So now we're not bringing in efficiency. Bet, say less.
47% from the field and 30.
I'm talking about the playoffs. Obviously, I'm talking about the playoffs.
You
in this discussion.
evaluated at the beginning of the playoffs. That's what you said. What is it, B-Souls? That's what I'm saying. What is it? Where does the goalpost stop? Did he not just say that? Am I tripping when he just said, I evaluated at the beginning of the season, then beginning of the playoffs? Okay, cool. Now we're talking about his play in the playoffs. What is it?
Oh my God, bro.
I mean, that is the question. What is it?
That's it. He just moved it. He just moved
What
it.
is it?
That goalpost is not sitting in the middle where it was
The
before.
goalpost a little out. It's hurting my back, but goddamn it, the goalpost can't keep bending like this, Benjamin. What are you gonna do?
All right. I will rephrase it, I guess. If Tatum goes crazy in the regular season, going into the playoffs, and this team wins 60 to 65 games and isn't injured, is healthy, I will say they're a super team. And I'm talking about actually being in the MVP conversation.
So that's the
Not no top 5 finish.
What does that mean?
We know what that means. Why the fuck are we playing dumb right now, bro? Why the fuck are we playing dumb right now?
No, bro.
Actually being in the MVP conversation, you know what that means, bro. You know what that means.
Ain't nobody playing Baja.
DeMontis Sabonis finished 7th in MVP voting. I guess he was in it. All right,
But you
bro.
said top 5 isn't in the conversation. Is that what you're trying to say?
No. Oh
What
my.
do you- all right. I feel.
Who was 5th in 2016? Exactly. Exactly.
I don't know. So
Exactly.
Exactly. That's nasty.
DeMar?
Exactly.
Yo, B-Souls is so nasty. Let me pull out a random year. What did Jayson Tatum finish this year? What was his what did he finish in MVP?
Well, I know
Like
why he
6.
was argued, because he was on that super team.
Oh, he was 6. He was right outside of 5, guys. Right outside of 5. You're right. Okay, cool. Let's keep it going. That wasn't even supposed to be anything like that. Well, I mean, I guess so. We're on the vein of Jayson Tatum. Carmelo Anthony had some choice words about Jayson Tatum, and it was about his aura and why people don't get respect or don't respect him. And maybe this is why he has some non-top X, Y, and Z finishes. Carmelo Anthony's words go as quote, and we got a clip after this. Carmelo Anthony on why people don't see Jayson Tatum as the next face of the NBA. The reason why we put Anthony Edwards there is because of his aura. If JT had that aura, it's over with. Maybe that's what him. Oh, Dumbo, you disagree?
Anthony is not wrong, ladies and gentlemen, because when we look at Jayson Tatum is an absolute stud and a superstar in this league, a 27-point per game scorer, a champion now. The brother's big time. He's special. But here's what Carmelo Anthony is alluding to, even if he didn't completely articulate it. He's right. And here's where it comes from. You have certain guys that they're just about their business. Grab my lunch pail, show up to work, handle my business, do my job. And that's a lot of players. But then you have special dudes that you can tell gravitate to being the marquee. They want to be the marquee. They want to be the people you're looking at. They want to be the headline. They want to steal the show. They want the attention. They want the allure, the acclaim, and all that comes with it. This is what they want. That was D. Wade.
I usually don't agree with Stephen A. Smith. That brother was spitting right there.
Hot tool. Feel it.
What?
Dumbo, why didn't you didn't agree? Why don't you agree?
Oh, because I feel like Jayson Tatum was going through the early stages of what a lot of guys who take that next step go through, which is the ultra hate phase, where no matter what this nigga does, people are going to hate on him. No matter what you do or what the scenario is, if his name is brought into it, people are going to hate him. It's not the same as if it was Ant, because when Ant was given the opportunity, people loved him. They hated on him or began to troll hate on him, but it wasn't nothing serious. It's nothing damning. It's not continuing now. With Jayson Tatum, he's in the early phases like we've seen with Steph in 2015. It is unnecessary amounts of hate. It is even the mention of him makes people start hating. JT has entered that stratosphere. So he's just in the early stages of it. Now what he needs to do is battle through it, battle through the adversity of the hate, continue to win, continue to be dominant, to continue to be great, either of those things over the next 3 years. And if he comes out on the other side with rings, with the MVPs, with respect from players, from busting ass, averaging 30 or whatever the case is, being dominant, you're going to look at Jayson Tatum amongst the greatest of all time. I already know it. So Jayson Tatum has everything you need.
Yeah, I guess it is pretty unfair. I'd call it hate as well, considering that he's not even the best player on his team. So when we're looking at it from a lens, when we're looking at it from a lens that like, yo, Jaylen Brown's right there, but yeah, everybody's talking about Tatum. Yeah, that shit's ridiculous. You don't remember times when people talking about Chris Middleton, CJ McCollum, Anthony Davis, I guess would be the closest thing to it. But yeah, we don't get this shit all the time, bro. It's unfair.
I agree with it. I ain't gonna lie.
I think he's auralist.
I think Tatum isn't as marketable as he needs to be, and also playing for the Celtics does not help. I'm just keeping the whole stack.
What? What does that mean? Why? Come on.
People don't like the Celtics. People don't like the Celtics.
People
hate us.
People don't like the Celtics. You know it's crazy. It's crazy. And maybe this is just my small market team coming out. People don't like the Celtics, but this is one of the most merch selling franchises in the NBA. People don't like the Celtics, but it's one of the most valued franchises in the NBA. One of the most historic franchises in the NBA that sells out games and all this and the third. Somebody has to like the Celtics for this to occur. I understand. I'm not being obtuse. I understand what you mean by saying there's a lot of hate, but there is a lot of love for Jayson Tatum and the Celtics.
That goes for any superstar then.
Oh, understandable. You saying it though as if like, this is a squeaky clean guy, man. And people just hate on him. I just because he plays.
First of all, it was the second thing I mentioned. And second of all, the first thing I said to remind you was the fact that him individually is not marketable enough. He doesn't got the quotables like Ant. I don't think he's as charismatic as Ant on the court or off the court.
He did it.
So, yeah, that's my biggest point. On top of that, I feel like a lot of people don't like the Celtics as well.
I just asked the boy to make shots.
That too. The production ain't there too.
Can I ask what 15, 16, 17, what are some quotables from Steph?
Well, specifically those years. Gee, damn. I don't know, but he has had some quote. Well, yeah, actually, Riley got some quotables. But I do remember like the sleep jump, the zero jump. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Steph got some, but you said those years. I don't know.
I think. Let me say this. I think, and this might sound crazy. I do think Steph Curry is auralist. I think the difference is, and listen, this is what I'm saying. I think the difference is his play style carried so much that it was infectious for everybody else. Like he was he's like a generational player from that perspective, generational person from that perspective, that his play style could carry into the culture. You're right. Curry doesn't have a lot of quotables. He doesn't have a lot of memorable media moments. He's actually very shy. Same thing with Klay. Like that whole Warriors team, besides Draymond Green, is like extremely reserved or whatever the case may be. But because the play style was so generational, it started to infect the culture and, you know, get into everybody's mindsets and stuff like that.
I can hear that. I'm not mad at it. I just think that the next couple of years we're going to see where Tatum needs to be, or show that he can be even a little bit of that. And if you believe he can do that or not, I'm not even going to argue that. That's fine. But like I said, I think he's at the beginning stages of where Steph was in 2015, where if you say the name Stephen Curry, unless you love the Warriors or love Steph Curry, niggas is going to hate.
He's in the beginning stages where Anthony Davis was. He ain't no damn Curry.
No, Anthony Davis was they was poisoning him to be the best player in the NBA. He had love from the streets.
Thank you, Damo, for remembering. Yes, thank you. We were there.
Like I was there in 2015 when they ran the polls. Who's going to be the best player in 5 years? And it was Anthony Davis. Like that.
On a non-troll timing though, they did that with Tatum for a little bit early in his career. I know it's like we old niggas, but like 2018, 19, 20.
Year one, yes, because of the circumstances he was thrown in, but even then he didn't produce on a level where I feel like it was fair to say that outside of crazy high Tatum fans. But again, Tatum was in conversations with Kyle Kuzma being spearheaded by Lowe himself.
Well, that's unfair. People were stupid for liking Kyle Kuzma.
Not even that. Luka Doncic has outproduced Tatum damn near every year he's been in the NBA since he's been in the NBA. Like literally with Anthony Davis, when Anthony Davis touched down, that nigga touched down with the wind beneath his sails of the streets behind him saying, oh no, this young nigga's next up. With Tatum, you had that year one a little bit because of the Gordon Hayward injury. You had him dunk on LeBron. Niggas was like, okay, bet. And then he went and put 16 up. And it was like, okay, whoa, slow down a little bit. He ain't there yet.
If that's how that went, but I agree with you more than I disagree. So I'm gonna stop yapping.
I think that Tatum didn't, and again, it's due to circumstances, and we're talking about this. I don't think he would or anybody else would change the situation or circumstances for the world, because this is like a problem of having a good team. A lot of times when high picks get on a team like that, they usually, like Damo was saying, put up like massive numbers. And looking back on it from that conversation we had the other day, the Celtics themselves and even Tatum have had like some like years, like, and relative to like where people think he should be. Like it might still be some 25s or whatever, but think about like year 3 Bron, year X, Y, and Z Kobe, year X, Y, and Z AI. And I'm thinking like the guys that were, you know, in the big conversations or whatever. How long did it take Tatum to have one of those types of years?
Year 4. I'm gonna say year 3, year 4. 2020 was 2020 not his first year where you could argue he played somewhat near elite. And
I think. Well, my bad. I was just about to say. I think the second half of the bubble season, he started turning up. But I think the first real season where you could say, all right, the Celtics are building around Tatum was the year after, 2021. So that's his first season was 17-18. 18, 19, 19, 20.
So 4 years?
Yeah, year 4.
Year 4. And even to add on to Omar's point, damn the guys that came before him, those all-time greats. Look at the guys that, again, came after him and what they were doing immediately. Year 2, year 3, Trae Young. Year 2, Luka. Year 3, Luka.
Yeah.
Year 3, Ja Morant. Year 2 or year 3, Zion being an all-star. So it wasn't even just the all-time great players. It was the guys that either had the hype going in or snatched the hype, and they were like, okay, they're starting to click a lot faster. And these guys were producing wins, getting to the playoffs, getting good runs. It wasn't just, I don't want to give a bad name, but a high pick on a bad team putting up good numbers. It wasn't LaMelo Ball. It was legit. These guys were turning these teams around. And then you had Jayson Tatum, who it took him to, like So said, year 4.
I agree there, but what I will say for sure is we gonna have to make sure we include every bit of this context here, though, because it's weird. Everyone kind of wanted it to be Tatum, though, and I know that sounds crazy in 2024, but y'all got to remember the 5 straight years of will Tatum take the leap? Like for 5 straight years, people talking about,
Different team.
oh yeah, if Tatum takes his leap, bro. Oh yeah, he's gonna be the guy. Tatum could be the American player. Woo woo bang bang. So it was weird. There was a market and even a like somewhat demand for like Jayson Tatum to be this guy, and then it just sucks. And Jaylen
But I
Brown.
don't. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think the whole American face of the league thing honestly only started these last 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, when
If anything, really just this season.
when Giannis won,
Jokic
it was a
won.
question mark because when Giannis won, they were like, "Damn!" Now I think about it, Giannis is good, Jokic is good, and Embiid is good. Oh shit! And then when Jokic won, it really railed home because people like racist and xenophobic. So,
When it got to a point to where if you said that out of the top 5 players in NBA, 4 of them are probably foreign, then it became okay, we need an American face of the league. And then you would think about the best American players in that age range of 26 to 23. And then when it fell down to being Tatum and Ja, then Zion had Mariah Mills thing. So niggas forgot about Zion. He's a freak. He drinks soda in the bathroom. Couldn't be Zion. Then it kind of defaulted to Tatum because he got the furthest and ended up winning the ring. And Tatum and Ant because they got the furthest.
Yeah.